And here we are. Welcome to the Drone Chat podcast live streaming. Our guest tonight in Sweden, today in Guadalajara in Mexico is Martin Trokenheim. How you doing, man?
Hi there. Hola, Mexico.
Hola. Oh, damn! I didn't look for translate to hello in Sweden. Damn it.
Oh, you see.
Eh,
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Fine, fine, and you? Well, tonight, the little theme is all about the Space Cat adventure. And what do we start drawing? Can I call you Martin, Trokenheim? How do you call you?
You pick.
Okay,
Most people call me Martin nowadays, but my signature is Trocken. Obviously from my surname, and that is something I had when I was younger, because we were a lot of Martins. I had like four friends, Martins, and everybody, somebody said Martin, and everybody thought, yeah, yeah. So we used the last names instead, the surnames.
well, I met you, but with the Troken nickname, so I think I'm gonna call you Troken. Well, my name is Ricardo, but everybody call me Diego Mita, so you can call me Diego Mita or Ricardo, whichever you want.
DJ.
DJ, DJ, Juanel and Mario call me DJ. They call me DJ. I'm not actually a DJ. I just like compose music on my. That's like my side hobby.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can call me whatever you want.
Okay.
Um, so well, Troken, tell us about yourself. How did you got in the comic industry, or what did you do? Who is Trokenheim? Who is Martin Trokenheim?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I don't know myself, but I guess it started off early. I always liked drawing. Oh yeah, we have to draw it at the same time.
Don't worry. Take your time.
Ah,
Take your time.
need to speak and draw. That's not a challenge.
That's the
Um,
challenge of this podcast. So
exactly. Who's gonna make it? Who's not gonna make it? Yeah, I started early. Like most kids, I guess. But in preschool, I loved drawing already, and I have a lot of those drawings still, because my father used to keep them. And when I was younger, I thought he was crazy, but now I'm really appreciate it. It's really fun to see those old drawings.
yeah,
So yeah, it's so fun, and I never stopped because I love doing that. It's such a fun thing to do, to draw, and it's it's the perfect hobby for me. I can be creative, and it's I don't know. I also used to um, when I was older, I needed to start choosing my education, and I wanted to be an astronomer.
oh, cool.
Yeah, but in the last minute, I found a really interesting education in a university that combined nature science with illustration, and I was like, wait a minute,
Oh
that
wait,
sounds pretty awesome,
that's really cool actually.
Yeah, so I'm going for that.
Yes,
And some
yes,
people
of
told me
course.
today, like, of course, can't be better. But actually, it's more like into infographics. It was that
Oh
kind
yeah,
of drawing, and
like
yeah, that was fun.
some like a graphic design or something like that.
Yeah, when you watch newspapers and or TV news, they always use these kind of infographic to show procedure or happening something. They try to explain something with
Yeah,
text, words, and graphics together, and that was what we were educated to do. And that was, yeah, it was fun. One of the best times in my life. Go to the
cool.
university. Yeah, that was it's super cool. Okay, and but later on, I'm not working with drawing anymore. It's
What do
not
you
my
do right
profession.
now?
I'm hmm, what's the English word for it? Communications officer.
Yeah.
maybe.
Well,
Yeah,
I think, but well, I know. Could you describe the work?
yeah. I'm working with the communications team for the municipality of Stockholm, the Stockholm city,
Mm-hmm.
and we are dealing all the communication issues or things that come pops up in our work. For instance, if there's a crisis like with the corona pandemic, for instance,
Yeah.
we had a lot of things to do. That was pretty crazy. It still is, but it's not the same scale anymore. Uh, but yeah, and my focus is on the web pages to update them, use like describing text, doing good text, editing photos, and trying to make pretty complicated material into something that every man and woman can understand. Try to convert that. So
So
yeah, that's my
that
project.
and well, right now in your what are you doing on your? I mean, and so that's your work, your main work, but right now on your creative or comic work, do
Mhm.
you make comics or make illustration just for a hobby as a professional, or what do you with us with that creativity of making comics and illustration? Uh,
Yeah, it's totally on a hobby basis. It's what I do to relax or to get my creative juices going, so to
no,
speak.
it's okay.
Uh, yeah, because I noticed after a while working in the industry, um, with infographics and drawing, like on getting jobs, um, it made my, how do you say, the creativity was lacking. I wasn't as creative anymore, and it felt like pressure all the time.
I
So
can relate to that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so after a while, I started to get other kind of jobs, and I liked them. And I felt I'm really good at what I do now, for instance, with this communication for web. And I really think I'm good at it. I like working with it. I have really good friends at work. So now, when I started leaving the illustration as a work, suddenly it was fun again to draw.
Yeah.
And I it was pretty fun because I had a long, like, what do you say when you don't draw for a while? You have a hiatus.
Yes,
Is that
like a hiatus.
hiatus? Yeah,
Yeah.
like for, I don't know, 10 years maybe, and I
Oh
didn't draw
wow.
any very much. Yeah, I couldn't draw. I didn't like it anymore, and I just felt I have to do it. So a friend of mine came up with the idea to just do a drawing a day for 1 year. This was 2013. So I was like,
Cool.
okay, that doesn't sound too hard. I can try that. And that was how I got back into to get creative again. And I actually looked at recently. I looked at those drawings, and it's really crappy. It's so bad, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all
Like it
because
doesn't matter.
no, just draw and draw and draw.
You're
That's
just
the point of it. If
enjoying.
you draw more,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the thing with creativity or what creativity that
Mhm.
right now is very common to see or hear a story about the burnt out, the people who
Yeah.
just get like really tired for doing the same job, or even I mean I work as a illustration in a gaming studio, and yes, I got the same feeling that I don't want to do this anymore. I just got tired,
Mm.
like you just get fed up, like yeah, I don't like this, but you have to do it because that's your work.
Mhm.
And I don't know, maybe it has to do with my personality. Like I'm really a stubborn person, so it was like, okay, I decide to work on this, I had to find a way to make amends or make peace with this feeling, because I had a rent to pay, I had bills to pay, so I usually don't have the,
Sure.
yeah. But that's how I figure out, like, I started to making music, because I started drawing as a hobby. But then
Mhm.
after high school, I started to looking for like a career. I was finding architecture, but then I found out the graphic design, and then, oh, this is look like something I could do. And then
Mhm.
that's how I got in this. And I found a specialization in animation, and that's how I got in this industry here in Mexico.
Mhm.
And but yes, I but then the hobby of drawing became like, I have to take this seriously and make a discipline, because it's work, and sometimes you don't have the right of the. I mean, some works I like it, some I didn't like it that much, but I have to do the job because that's what we
Yeah.
pay for. But then I became like, I don't like doing this, and then finding a time to making some drawings. That's how I found to start composing music. But that's that's
Yeah.
that's totally my hobby. That's totally just a hobby. But then when the pandemic, actually, what happened to you in the pandemic? Did you have like how was for yourself? Did it change yourself? Or, but I mean, did it change something in your life after the pandemic or during the pandemic?
Uh, Quite a lot in one way and nothing in the other way. Because the pandemic, yeah, I had to work from home, and I had the possibility to do that. So that wasn't a problem. I just need a computer and an internet connection,
Yeah.
to be honest. And yeah, so we started to have like Teams meetings and getting pretty good at it, actually. But
Cool.
so that was a natural like development for us uh, in work. And okay, we started to not we couldn't meet people as much, of course. So what happened recently, like more than half a year ago, we moved from Stockholm. Stockholm is the capital of Sweden. We actually moved for temporarily to a small city called Nora,
Nora.
Nora. Yeah, it's a small, super cozy, so cute. You know, they're wooden
Ah,
houses,
awesome.
you have a lake, it's green everywhere, people are friendly, yeah, birds are singing. It's so nice here. And they have good ice cream too.
Oh, cool. I don't know why, but I picture yourself like an. Do you know Animal Crossing? The
Who?
the game Animal Crossing?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, 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 yeah. I know.
I don't know, but I picture like in some Animal Crossing island, everybody's happy, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everybody enjoying themselves.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody like, yeah.
Oh,
It's so, yeah. No, it's so nice here, and yeah, it's
cool,
not too
cool,
far
cool.
away from the capital either, so it's easy for me to just go back if for work business or meeting relatives or something.
Ah, cool.
So that's a pretty big change for us, actually. I mean, I've been living in Stockholm for so many years. I'm born in Stockholm, and so I don't know. Big
Everything.
thing. I was like, I had to pinch myself in the arm a couple of times, especially in the first couple of months. Like, what? How are you living here? You just moved here? I mean, it's so crazy after so many years in Stockholm. But
Yeah.
I enjoy it, and I really can recommend everybody to make that thing if you can. I mean, it's
Oh
not
yes, of
possible
course.
for everyone, of course.
No, but that's a tough choice. I mean, I'm not from Guadalajara. I'm from another state in here in Mexico. I'm from Baja California Sur,
Hmm.
and I decided to study here in Jalisco. But that's like
Yeah,
a really long time ago. And yes, actually, it's like it's a big change because you lived your whole life there, and then you start to move just suddenly, and then what's going on? But it's a
yeah,
big change. I totally agree with you, and I totally recommend to find a way to move out to another state, another country. actually traveling.
Mm.
That's help a lot.
It
So
can be scary. It's
yes,
such a good thing
totally,
to,
it is.
yeah. No, so today illustration has become just a fun thing to do, and I love to like, oh, I get an idea, or I see something cool on, say, Instagram or something, and I
Yeah,
feel like, ah, I have to draw that too. I want to do fan art or something, and it's just fun. Instead of watching maybe Netflix all night, I can sit and listen to music and draw something. I watch Netflix, of course, too. That's not. I'm not that, but I
I
think it's a
just
good thing to do as a like replacement for other things sometimes.
like like your me time or to a way of,
Yeah,
well, yeah, I mean it's a way of relaxing too. Actually, enjoying this.
yeah. I don't know how it's with you, but sometimes when I draw, I can totally forget about the rest of the world for a while.
That's actually my mental process when I work in. Like I totally forgot everything and I just focus. Actually, I have a friend that I interviewed last month, and he
Mhm.
told me that for him, the start working as he start driving is like getting in a train and just focuses on the window. But suddenly,
Yeah.
when you stop and you get out, when you get down from that train, you lost that inspiration. That inspiration. I mean
Mhm.
that's a funny metaphor for his creativity. And I mean, I had something like that. Like sometimes I'm just inspired, or I'm too focused on the working. But then something came like, we have a meeting. Oh, we have to do this. Or, oh, you forget to deliver this. And I totally like, oh, whoa, what? And then it's sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's not that bad. But depending of the day. But yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot of say methods, creative methods to start again. So
Yeah.
is the thing is just continue, and sometime what do you say, just start making the doodles, just start doing something, and then
Yeah.
you came to pick the the the, the inspiration.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah, I've done that a lot, so many times. Just like let the pen decide, and you're like, oh, I don't have any inspiration today. I feel heartbroken or something, and then I start, okay, here's an eye, here's the next eye, and okay, wow, this is pretty cool face actually, and oh, maybe this haircut, and then suddenly I have a pretty cool, I don't know,
Yes.
sci-fi hero.
Well, and besides drawing and watching Netflix, what do you like to do? Do you like video games or reading comics? What's your kind of comics? Oh, well, let's start with video games. So, what are you? What do you like?
uh, I played a lot of video games years ago. I don't nowadays anymore. I don't know what happened. Just stopped doing that. And
Hmm,
I
I got the same
maybe
problem.
it was in the same. Yeah, you don't play so much anymore.
No, I play and the same. I play a lot video games, but with when I have am a student and the university.
Mhm.
But then when I start to work, I start to focus on other projects. So I forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I think it was sometimes because you can totally lose time, the sense
Yes.
of time. Start playing, and then suddenly it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, "What happened?
Yes. Yeah,
I
like
need
that.
to
You.
do this tomorrow." Oh,
Yes. Oh well. For me, it was like I read to do another drawing or start practice on something else. But yes, for me, games are like maybe later. I played some couple
yeah.
of games, but I leave them like for months. So
What kind of games do you like?
I like RPGs and
Yeah.
fantasy RPGs, like Final Fantasies, but the
Mhm.
one from Super Nintendo,
Yeah.
and one of the first person shooter, Borderlands. That game
Yeah.
actually I got really addicted to that game.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, it was like I don't know if you know it. It's like Call of Duty, but with a mix
Dystopia.
of redneck, but in the future. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
and
it's a,
everybody's like after the big disaster, everything is like
yeah, yeah.
kind
It's a really cool game, and actually I miss that game. But right now I'm ready to or making or composing some music or start working on some ideas that I got on my computer and drawing.
yeah,
Yeah, and comics. Do you like comics? Or
yeah, yeah. I do.
what
I
comic do you
haven't.
like?
I don't read too much, but okay. One I really got into a couple of years ago. It's called Coda, Coda,
Okay.
Coda. I don't know how to
I
pronounce.
don't know. I don't know it, but what it's about or what do you like it?
Yeah, what I got into when I got into it, it was because of the drawings. It's such a good illustrator. I think he's from South America somewhere. Uh, Matias Bergara, I think his name is. He's such a, I mean, such a maestro. He's like a genius, and
Wow.
he's such a colorful, expressive, really good with the inks. And the story, it's like somebody wrote in a review that it's a mix of fantasy and Mad Max, and I
Cool.
really like that combination. And it's so good characters. The story is great, and I couldn't stop reading that. So that was really cool.
Is
And
still
what
currently
else?
available or is just how to say?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
You can read it. I don't know where. I bought it because I went to a shop and found it, and like immediately saw how good it was.
It's
It's
called
just
Coda.
Coda,
Coda.
Coda. Yeah.
COD. Coda with how do you say? What was the name of the artist?
Matias Bergara, I
Matthias.
think.
Ah, I found it. I found it. Let us watch.
Yeah, you should. You should. That I can
Oh,
recommend that.
I saw. Ah, it's a really cool art. Let me copy
Yeah,
one of this and just paste it here. So this guy, right? Damn, it's a really cool art. Really cool.
yeah. I think the way he works with colors. Yeah, there it is. That's the
Yeah.
first issue. I think. How he works with color is just amazing. I tried to
That's
copy a little bit from that style once, but it's yeah, it's super cool. What
and
else? Yeah, what's other comics that I really like? Yeah, do you remember a comic? I don't know if you had it where you live, but they made a movie of it recently. Luc Besson did this science fiction
uh
movie,
yes,
Valerian.
Valerian. Valerian?
Yeah,
Yeah, Valerian
Valerian.
the thousand planets and something like that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yes. I
Yeah,
knew that
I think
it was
I don't think the
from a
movie
comic.
was so good, but
Comic was okay,
yeah,
but I knew that it was from a comic. I haven't read the comic. I actually trying to find it. Do you read that? Do
yeah,
you read it? The art is actually
yeah.
cool.
I started reading that. It's really good. I don't think the movie was so good. I was
No,
disappointed. I have to admit.
yeah, it's a really good, just
Uh,
good story. It looks like a continuation for Fifth Element, but the only thing I knew is that
yeah,
Luc Besson was inspired for that graphic novel,
exactly. So that graphic novel actually inspired the Fifth Element, and then he had the chance to do the actual comic a couple of
and
years
he
later.
screwed
So
it.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
so. Oh,
dude, did you
I
have
had so
like a
many
really
conversations with friends
yes,
about this.
but
How could
Hollywood,
he?
how could you that? But once again, Hollywood. Eh,
Yeah,
uh,
that's the thing. They know how to screw up movies sometimes. That's
yes.
unfortunate. Not every time. Sometimes they
No.
actually
What's your favorite?
succeed.
What would you say is your favorite movie?
Wow,
Do you have like
tough
a favorite
question.
movie or maybe a genre?
Yeah, science fiction. You know, I live and breathe it. I love it. That was the easy question. The second question, the first question was harder. Which one is good? You know, the Alien movies, the two first ones
Oh
are
yes. Uh,
shaped me, I think, in many ways.
do you like
And
the who?
they have a cat.
Ah, yeah.
Movie, pets, and cat. You know,
Yeah.
it's so creative. I really enjoy that so much.
Oh,
Um,
did you watch There's a Netflix series with a cat in space. He's not the main character, but he's one of many characters. Dead Space. No, it's Final Space. You haven't
haven't
watched it?
seen it. No, what
It's
is
a
it
really
about?
cool. It's a story about a guy who got in prison, but he's in space, and his punishment is he got to fix a ship, a spaceship, and then he found himself involved in the how to say, in something like a space invasion from another universe. And
Hmm.
it's a really fun and an action series on Netflix, but it only got
Yeah.
like 3 seasons. But I think it's worth watching it. I recommend. And
Okay.
there's a character who is it's a cat, uh, and but
Cool.
his name is Avocado. That's his name. That is
I
name Avocado.
love it.
That's really cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So after this, just off to Netflix and continue watch it.
I totally recommend that series. Actually, there's like a
Oh,
lot of series. I don't know if you watch it, like Cowboy Bebop. That's an anime.
I know about it. I didn't watch it because it immediately got really bad reviews,
No,
and
no,
I
no,
felt
no,
like, oh, maybe I'm gonna watch something else. So,
no,
but
no.
can you
That,
recommend it?
I think that's the series, the live action series. No,
Yeah.
I told the anime, the cartoon. The cartoon is
Oh,
really
okay.
cool. The cartoon is really cool, and that's actually available on Netflix right now. Yeah, the live action series was a totally disaster.
Hmm.
I didn't watch it. I just like no, 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 no. I didn't like
Hmm.
it.
Don't spoil my Cowboy Bebop too much. Leave it to me. Leave it to me.
Okay, okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, maybe I should watch it then. Yeah, because I remember Cowboy Bebop for. I mean, when I was young, I think that's a pretty old series, isn't it?
Yes, from the 90s, I think.
Yeah, I think I remember that like many years ago. But yeah, I didn't watch much anime when I was young. There was not so much in Sweden, maybe uh, when I grew up. It came later.
I mean, what kind
So,
of anime did you get to watch? Dragon Ball?
um, no, no, I'm older than
Really?
that. So yeah, Dragon Ball. I was a teenager already. No, um, I watched something called. Have you seen Ulysses 31?
Oh, yes. I just watched a
Have
couple
you?
of chap. Yes, I have seen it.
Uh, So, maybe if I would watch it today as an adult for the first time, I was probably like, "Wow, woof, this is." But when I was young, and I still love it, I watch it a couple of times now and then, even now, because I think it's so good. Cool characters. It's pretty cheesy sometimes.
Yes,
Also,
yes, but
it's not perfect. I can admit that, but I can live with it. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time.
nah, I think it's worth watching again.
Yeah.
It has like a really cool story. Um, I the name of the series that got intrigued me, like what is called Ulysses, is like because I didn't see the whole series. I just watched some random chapters. I always
Okay.
thought to myself that this is like a the Odyssey story, but in space. What is
Exactly.
about? Do you remember what is about the series? Because I remember that there was like Lost in Space series, Like there's a
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah,
guys lost in space and just finding some adventure.
exactly. No, it starts with at the end of the war in Troy,
Mm,
and but Troy is of course a planet somewhere. Probably, I don't know. It's very. It doesn't go into details too much,
yeah.
and they have to leave and go back to Earth. And because of something I can't remember now, of course, the gods get angry on Ulysses, and they
Okay,
make his
so
ship go random away in space somewhere, and he has to find his way back to
yeah.
Earth. So pretty much the Odyssey, but in space.
So it's really inspired on the, well, it's the same story from the Odyssey, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
exactly.
okay, okay. So it's Greeks, mythology Greeks on space.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
you hear that? Can't
well, yes.
must be a success story. Yeah.
You
So
know,
that's those things that made me, when I was young, uh, made me realize that I like science fiction. I like the stories that are exotic and totally like unrealistic, but that's what I always uh, got, uh,
yeah, that's science
interested in.
fiction. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
How
think
are you? What do you think? Are you a fantasy guy, or you like?
I'm a more fantasy guy, but right now
Yeah.
I started watching more science fiction series. There is one
Hmm.
on Amazon Prime that is called The Expanse. I trying to look in those. Those are from a series of books, and I'm trying
Yeah.
to buy those books. It's a really cool story. It's like do you know that the series The Expanse?
Yeah, I watched all the season, but the last one because it wasn't available then. But
Yeah,
I should really see this last one now because I want to see how it ends.
yeah, but it didn't end. It's like just halfway. Fuck.
Oh no! Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, like no. But they don't know if they're going to continue because it's just they just need one season and with to end the series. So, but I know that there's like a six book, so I'm going to look for those books. And there's
Yeah.
another for Isaac Asimov, like how they call. Damn, I totally forgot the
Ah,
name. But
the
it's the
foundation.
yes, the foundation. I know there's a series inspired of the of those books. I
Yeah.
haven't watched it, so I think I'm gonna. But yeah, for me, the fantasy stories are what I really like because I actually I like to play the D&D, the Dungeons and Dragons. So I got my
Yeah.
inspired for them, for Lord of the Ring and other story, Dragonlance,
Mm.
the how the stories. And well, the Nordic mythology, Greek mythology,
Mm.
and other fantasy stories, I think. But the main
It's
one is Tolkien, the Lord of the Ring stories, and
yeah.
Silmarillion and The Hobbit. Those were my foundation for liking all the fantasy and watch other series.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that it's like the foundation for all the fantasy almost.
Yeah, I think.
We- Sometimes I think it could be like it maybe became a problem because all fantasy for a while. I mean, I think it's better today, but much fantasy got like stuck in that J.R.R. Tolkien world. Everybody
Yes,
had to have orcs and elves and dwarfs and the same kind of
Orcon or
building
Elf.
stone.
Yeah, they have that copy pasta of elf and orcs.
Yeah,
I
and
think that
everybody had
the one who
that.
exaggerated with that was World of Warcraft with
Mhm.
the big
Yeah.
muscular orcs. I like actually I like that kind of art from World of Warcraft.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty
Or
cool. With
yeah,
those like underjaws, really like super big jaws and teeth. And yeah, I think what they did also was the trolls. They did the trolls pretty cool because they had like fangs, really big
yes,
fangs in their mouth. They made them like a special type of trolls. I think they succeeded in that.
Yes, actually, and they have like they all got like the same proportion, like big bulky guys.
I can't. Did you play Warcraft 3 when it
No,
came?
the last update from World of Warcraft.
No, not the World of Warcraft. Before World of Warcraft, there was
Ah,
like
just Warcraft.
yeah, Warcraft. There was Warcraft, Warcraft 2 and 3, and I played the 3 so much, too much for a while, and I can't, ever. It's stuck in my head the phrase when the workers, the the workers, they were like, work, and
Yes,
I still remember that work, and I'm like, it can't get out of my mind. I don't remember any other like phrases or anything from that, but work, it's
work,
stuck with
yes.
me forever. I'm gonna remember that when I die. Work.
No, I didn't play that game a lot. I actually play with my friends Age of Empires. That's why I play like a
Mhm.
lot. Like Age of Empire 1 and 2, we played like hell.
Did you play like analog role-playing games too, like Dungeons and Dragons and those things that they have in Stranger Things nowadays?
Yes,
With like dice and
yes.
characters.
I'm still playing. I played Dungeons and Dragons since high school.
Ah,
So
cool.
I have like a, I think it's going to be 20 years that I'm still playing the D&D.
Wow.
Yes, and I
Respect.
really thank- right now, but because of the pandemic, we start using digital platform. Like there's a page that is called Roll 20D that it
Mhm.
has like a lot of features that you can play online with your friends, and it makes like it have like a lots of features that make it. Hey, is that Nyan Cat?
Yeah,
Oh, yes. I started.
it
Why are
is.
you drawing? I thought for a second, I thought it's going to be a ship. Yo, what? Yeah, hey, Troken, we're
You
gonna start.
recognized it.
Yeah, for the rainbows.
Cool. Yeah, isn't it? Actually, it's Pride Month too. So I think
Ah,
rainbow
yes,
theme. It's appropriate to have
yes.
a Niagara. Oh, I haven't shown you. You have to look at my camera here.
What is it?
For this occasion,
Oh,
see
hell
the
yeah.
T-shirt. I mean, come on,
Yeah, of course.
perfect outfit for today.
Perfect. Yeah, okay. You know, I'm going to try draw that astronaut cat because I started drawing just a spaceship, just but I know.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Cool. So just put some kittens there. Do you know? Actually, it is because Alien that you start liking so much the science fiction movies and all.
No, I think it started earlier than that. It was,
Star Wars or start.
yeah, I think Star Wars is one of the reasons, totally. The other one is that Valerian comics, because
Mhm.
before the movie, of course, I read those when I was really young, uh, because they are old. I think the first one came out in the early 80s or something, and they still make new issues, so it's a really long term comic. And then there's another one. There's a French TV series for kids. It was called what was it again? Something with space, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But they build up a really cool world, and I still watch that too. It was French. I didn't understand the word. Didn't matter because there were so cool robots, spaceships, really good
Oh my god.
designs also. Yeah. and I remember them. I mean, the
Well,
story is super cheesy. It's not so good, but it doesn't matter. I love the story, and I love the characters. Once Upon a Time Space.
it's called
Uh, yeah, Once Upon a Time
Once Upon a
Space. It was, maybe you saw that Once Upon a Time History. That was the first series. Once Upon a Time Space came after that, and then Once Upon a Time The Body. So they have different themes for each
Oh,
series. It's like a classic made
yes,
in
yes.
France.
They didn't have they have a beard, well, not like a wise man
Yeah,
character, but
yeah,
this
yeah,
all
yeah.
hairy and like beard, long
Exactly,
beard, white.
exactly.
Yes, yes. That series came to Latin America here, and they translated to Spanish. So I got to
Yeah,
watch the whole series, and what I liked the one was from that when they explained the body and all the
yeah,
history of humanity.
exactly.
Those were my favorite.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah,
And
the
my favorite was the one before it with space. And that was a little different because that was more like instead of this educational thing that the other ones were. So space was more of a epic storyline from the first to the last episode. So it was a little bit different, but the same characters,
it's the
always the
one,
same
right?
characters. The guy with the beard, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's
And
no. I
so,
didn't.
so
God damn it,
no,
we didn't
sorry,
got that. Nah, yeah, and it actually look
okay.
cool. Yeah, it has
Oh,
yeah,
you
it
can
got
see
the same characters, the good ones and the bad ones.
always the same.
Yeah, so they have like the same template for the characters.
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe it's like it was good for kids because of you recognize them and they like you want to see the next series because you love the old
Yeah,
characters, the old series. So maybe that was a trick to keep us watching.
probably.
I don't know.
Probably. Well, they were pretty recognizable. How is it? Recognizable.
Recognizable.
Recognizable. I just forgot the word. But you just watch it. You just watch the character, and you know where's that character cartoon work. Where
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How what they think, what they want. It was you knew it immediately. But yes, to answer your question, that was also one of the basics, the basis, the fundaments for my interest in science fiction. I think, like so, fantasy and horror and stuff like that. That came later on, and then there was a fourth thing, and that was a role playing game that totally made me like jumping into the rabbit hole with
cool
everything because it was called Mutant.
mutants.
Yeah, Mutant, only
Mut-
Mutant, and it was a little bit different because it was like after the disaster, it was a big atomic war, and this is the world after that. Like Mad Max,
Yeah,
pretty similar. The But the thing with this one was the story you play in Sweden. So you play in the Swedish countryside, and you have to like um, you, the role playing game was a lot of discovering old places, finding bunkers with weapons or mutants or monsters, and because of the radiation all of the animals that you know about they
mm,
have become like beasts and monsters, and it was
cool.
so cool. That game we played every single free time we had. Me and my friends, we just play that. They still make it in new versions, better versions probably, but I played the original one, and it also made me draw things from that. So I think that kickstarted my drawing interest too, because I wanted to, show my characters and all of
Yeah,
those.
you could say that those were your influence, right?
Yeah, 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 totally. So those
But
four, those four was probably my
it's
biggest ones.
from PC, that game Mutants it's called.
That was a role playing game, like
Oh,
a
okay, okay.
box with dice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Uh, And those dice, I've been thinking about them pretty much when I'm getting older. Those dice are one of the reasons you love role playing games, because they're
I
so
got
funny,
mine.
those shapes.
Yes, actually, I got mine over here. I got my
Yeah,
dice bag.
cool. All right. Yeah, I have to
Whenever
find
you
one.
want,
There's
I can.
there's somewhere. I have to find it soon.
Okay, okay.
Cool. I think role playing games was such a good thing for young people. I remember those though the debate that came after, like with comics and movies. Also, the role playing games got a lot of bad reputation.
Oh yes, those were like Satan games, and you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah,
forbid
yeah.
it. Yet like some bullshit like that.
It's
Yeah.
always like that. And nowadays, it's something else. Netflix or computer games.
Yeah. But I remember that one I have once I was with my friends and we play in a party. We have like this table and the whole books and with our paper with character, and then the people came with us and told us that, are you doing homework? And we're like, no, we're playing. So you're doing homework? No, we're playing.
That's super cool. You should have stayed with that. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is our homework. You have to finish that. I mean, we're into this, so can you do this?
Yeah, no, but yes, I really like playing well, Dungeons and Dragons, and actually I play. There's another game, but if I could find a way to play on online, it's called Shadowrun. I don't know if you heard of that game, Shadowrun.
Like, oh,
It's like
no, I don't.
imagine mixing World of Warcraft with Blade Runner. That's the kind
Ah,
of game. It's a pretty cool game, and it's a role playing game. It's like
how do you spell that?
the story of that world is like in the when in some far away in the future there was like this cataclysm in Earth, and everybody, the whole myth of legends of minotaurs and harpies and all that is it was true, and then it was like magic just start flowing on the earth and start changing everything. So from the start, people start going to become an elf, dwarf, orcs, and everything, but they live
Oh,
in this kind of society, but in a Blade Runner kind of style,
cool.
and it's quite pretty cool.
I re-
And
but I remember it's not this game I'm thinking about. Shadowrun. Do you remember that one?
that's the one that say
It
the
was a-
Shadowrun.
it was okay. Okay, sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't hear
that's
that.
it.
Okay, yeah,
Shadowrun. That's the game.
okay. Yeah, I didn't play it. I remember it when I was young. We were hanging out in this. There was one shop with role playing games only in Sweden, I think, when I was young. That was the only one. And we were hanging out there like every Saturday. We took the subway and we went there and like were drooling because we saw these books and dice and all cool games. And we saw, Shadowrun and Call of Cthulhu and those games. We never played
Yeah.
them. We didn't know English, so we could just play the Swedish ones when we were young. But yeah, I really remember I liked the Shadowrun concept, mixing sci-fi or cyberpunk with fantasy.
Yes, something like
Super cool. Yeah, I remember that one. I remember, I can remember the boxes with the cover art. So cool stuff going on there. Maybe I should check that out today.
no, you should.
Oh,
And if
yeah.
we got the time a time to play, when I just have one friend who knows the rules of that game because I haven't read the whole. It has another system, so it's
Okay.
more because D&D is more for throwing the dice and just let the luck be with you. but in Shadow
Yeah.
Room you have to like really role play your character, and
Hmm.
some of the it's more of your wits on how do you solve a problem.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the difference. So most people didn't like that because they don't want to think. They just I just want to throw my dice and did I get
Yeah.
that 20? Yeah. Did I hit the monster? Yeah. So it's actually I really like that game, but I don't have like much friends who like that to play that kind of game,
Mm. Okay.
or the one that they like they crazy. So, but yeah, but if and just I have like one friend had that he knows the rules, but if we got it like a few people, I can invite you to play if you want one day.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll
And
be there.
yeah, we play in this game this how is it called, roll 20D. That's the platform where we play on online because the pandemic and all that. So we got
Hmm.
around on online on sometimes in Discord.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for because of the tackle comic, I started using Discord. It's pretty cool, actually. I like the
Ah, well,
platform.
actually I was asking you that
Yeah.
how do you get around in Flip Taco comic, in the Flip Taco project?
How I'm what?
How do
Can
you
you
get to
repeat?
know, or how do you get know Don from Flip Taco, the
Yeah.
project we're doing?
He w- he was just like, as I said, we were starting getting contact on Instagram, and he drew something, a fan art of mine, and I drew something from his characters, and then suddenly he was asking me like, Martin, I have a couple of guys here. We're gonna do a comic together in this way, and I was like, gee, I can't do that. I don't know how to do comics because I'm more like drawing, characters only. Like, oh, this comes to mind. I like to draw this, and then I do it. But I haven't done comics in that way that you need to, you have a story, you need to have those uh, text bubbles
Mm-hmm.
and have to position them in a good way so the composition gets good. All those things, I was like, I never tried that. So, yeah, of course, I need to try it. And so it's really fun. And yeah, I'm really glad. Don, if you're listening to this, thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy for being in this project with you guys. It's such lovely. Everybody seems to be super sweet and cool. And yeah, it's so fun to see. Also to see where this story goes because nobody knows. it's, it's very.
Yes, that's totally random. Well, it's an exercise in here in Spanish it's called a cadáver exquisito or exquisite cadaver. Like everybody had like you point at like a main plot, and then everybody start to develop that like how they think it's going to work, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's very fun. When I was young, we had a game we played. Like one person whispers something to the next one, and then and then that person whispers to the next, and so on. And we were laughing so much when we heard the laugh. What it was like transforming into in
Yes.
the end. So fun. It was so amazingly fun. So this reminds me a little bit about
Yeah,
that game.
I think it's the inspiration from this kind of exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, there's a game. There's a online game. I don't know how they call, but you can invite as many people as you want, and the dynamic of the game is like you write a sentence, a phrase, like what they say like a black cat is just crossing the street, no? And then the next one they send to another the next person, and he needs to draw that sentence, and the next person needs to guess that phrase. So
Mm.
they start building like some random phrases like so if you drew just the black cat and you forgot to draw the street, you're going to say no, but just a black cat, and then the next one is going to just draw a black cat, and that and with
Yeah.
many people, it's actually it's pretty funny and a really cool experience to just
Oh,
make
cool.
it.
Yeah, I love those things. I love when and in the end it's just like gibberish. It's just like a
Yes,
stupid story or
it's
something.
it's so stupid that it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, I think we are a little bit more structured than that. Maybe we have a
No,
little
but
bit of more
who knows? I
boring.
I I, I actually I want to try to do that. I talked to Juanel and Mari to try to invite it to play that game, but then I went, nah, maybe later. Yeah, okay, okay, fine.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna ask them on the Discord channel and tell the guys if they want to play that game one day.
Yeah. Yeah, we could try it.
Yeah, we should try that. Oh, and well, do you have like some advice for creativity advice? I asked you that before, like it can be five, but you can tell us just one.
Um, yeah, actually I was talking with people on Instagram. Instagram became a big channel for me with a lot of you know meeting people. I mean, that's
Really?
the reason why I'm sitting here with you now.
Oh well,
It's
actually,
so yeah, and I've talked to a lot of young people about how it's not like they came up to me asking questions, but sometimes the conversation went into this, and they were like, "Oh, I'm not good," or "How can I get better?" So for me, it's like just draw every free time you have. If you like it, just do it. Don't think too much about what or when and how. Um, if you have a good tablet with a super great pen, or if you have a paper and pen, I mean, just grab what you have and draw a lot. And I mean, eventually you're gonna get better.
yeah,
It just happens because you train, you practice a lot, and suddenly, I mean, it's really interesting to see how it actually by itself in some mysterious way because you do it so many. There is this theory about 10,000 hours. If you do something for 10,000 hours, everybody heard about that, I guess.
yes,
Uh, then you gotta. I mean, you're not gonna get worse anyway.
no,
That's one for one thing. And yeah, so do as much drawing as you can, and draw what you like. Because I'm thinking, I'm talking from my own experience. Uh, when you start, at least, and before you get into the professional life, draw what you like because if you don't do that, you're gonna lose the lust for drawing and to get creative. So in the beginning, I think it's
totally.
pretty good to yeah, do what you think is fun because the fun is pretty important in the beginning, I think. And then when you're into it, you start to get to a good sketchbook with a lot of great stuff. Then you can start watching an anatomy or techniques and stuff like that. But don't start with that. Start to have fun. I think that's one of my best advice for anyone.
So that's pretty cool. That's yep.
Yeah. No, no, you
No,
continue.
no, I was going to compliment with what you're saying. Like it's important to love what you do, and actually, I mean, it's important to have passion for what you do. I mean, if it's just as a hobby or this is what you want to work, but
Yeah.
yes, but practice is the most important thing. I think most of that. But yes, yes, that's pretty cool advice. Start like just draw. Like, don't
Mhm.
think too much. That's a good way to say it. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Just let go and just do it.
let the creativity,
Sometimes.
the mind flow.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's and of course it's not like inspiration just comes down to you from the heavens or the skies,
No.
and then you suddenly like, oh, I know what to do. It's not like that. You have to, sometimes I can sit sometimes a couple of hours, even today, and I'm looking at the result and like, wow, this is really bad, and this is many hours wasted, but it's not wasted. It's never wasted because it's something is happening in your head,
Yeah.
so it's never wasted to the drawing. And this thing with the anatomy, I drew a comic about it like 4 years ago that got pretty uh, many views, and many people were liked it, and some people were very against it because my message was anatomy is not essential for being successful with drawing. I mean, anatomy is super important if you want to do realistic stuff, if you want to do something that's like a painting like Mona Lisa or something from Monet or something.
Yeah.
Sure, I mean, you have to know your anatomy, study anatomy, do, what you call that live study drawing with like a model, uh, draw draw things from real life. It's really, really, really important. But I mean, if you just want to do a comic or you just want to have fun, don't think about it too much. It's just gonna like limit you, I think,
Yeah.
because it's not gonna be fun.
I think in that way, and it's important to, well, that was my experience. Uh, well, how did I put it? When I start to decide to I'm going to work on this, for that moment for
Mhm.
me, it's like, okay, this is not a hobby anymore. So I got to took this seriously, and I need to start learning new things because otherwise I'm gonna get stuck on what I do. And I mean, it's you don't have to learn. Yes, that's true. Actually, you don't have to learn how to draw perfectly anatomy. No, that's not how it works. You learn anatomy. So how do you know how to just draw a character? So how do you to start to know how to put proportion to your character and be, how to say, it's just they're just basic. It's just basic, and that's just another way to learn and to be.
Yeah,
I totally forgot that word is to be. Consist with your style, because that's the problem with
yeah,
many artists. Like they just start drawing, and then the next character, it's the same character, but you see the difference, right? So
yeah.
they don't know how to draw the same character because they
Mm,
changing the style once a lot
yeah.
of time.
That's one of my problems actually. I still struggle with it a lot. I can't, if I do a character I really like and then I try to do it again some month later, even if I change the style a little bit, maybe I don't want to use ink or something more painterly, but the character looks totally different. The face and the position and expression, and I'm like, why can't I? Oh, get
And
that original one back. It's
yes,
hard. It's really hard.
and sometimes it's because you forgot how to draw that character. Sometimes, so that's why it's important to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so practice. So you start like you design like this kind of model, and then okay, I got like this reference, so I'm going to start drawing. So, for instance, try to draw your character on different sides, heights, maybe some
Mhm.
say. So
Yeah.
you can start recognize, because otherwise you just draw the same character just with different outfits.
Yeah. And that can be the opposite problem. You draw exactly the same thing over and over again in different positions, and you won't ever, what do you say, develop anything because you do the exact same thing. So I think it's good to sometimes challenge yourself and
Hmm.
maybe try. All my characters were like standing like straight, like the hands down, and I started to like, okay, I need to give them position or pose or something that to
Yes.
make them more dynamic, and that was really hard. It was really hard, but I started. I'm not confident with that today, even, but it's better. It's better because I tried, and I still try. So
Uh,
yeah, that's my recommendation to everyone.
yes.
Challenge yourself.
Challenge yourself, and I think just for compliment, be conscious of your style, and don't be afraid to ask for feedback. It's
Yeah,
not bad. Not that bad.
mm, exactly.
Well, I
So
think well, we almost end the hour here. So to finish this, Martin or Troken, nice. It's really quite nice to meet you, and thanks for came here to my podcast, the Drone Chat.
thank you. I had a lot of fun, and yeah, great. And thanks for having to talk and be able to talk with you for a while, meeting you at last.
Yes, actually, the first time we meet, we only talk on Discord. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So thank you very much. Glad to be
Thanks.
here.
Yeah. Well, with this, we ended the podcast. So we see you next time. So thanks again,
Mhm.
Troken, and we see you again.
Goodbye.